Hello everyone. Today we talk about ways to save the world. I guess some of us are passionate about saving the world, and maybe some of us agree on the fact that the world may be in need of saving. However, like most of our greatest achievements, saving the world needs cooperation, collaboration. No one can save the world on their own. In a perfect world, saving the world would be as simple as just telling the truth and asking people to do the right thing, whatever that may be, and everybody would follow. Unfortunately, that's not how our reality functions. Because of a simple fact. This is because being right is not enough. Sometimes it's not even necessary, but let's not go there. Assuming we are right, we have discovered some truth, and we want to move people to change something, to save the world, or sell something, or lead an organization, or influence others, then we need more than this truth. We need more than assuming we are right. Before we talk about what this is, I would like us to go on a journey to understand how the human brain functions in terms of decision making. Because if we want to save the world and we need people to help us do so, then we need to influence others to act in a way and change behaviors that they wouldn't do so otherwise. So imagine a spectrum of behaviors, from reason and logic and rational thoughts to irrational, emotional, volatile thoughts, right? These two extreme ends of the spectrum exist and happen in two separate regions of our brains. The ancient part of our brains that gives rise to strong feelings and emotions such as greed or fear and anger is called the amygdala. It's very ancient. It's also called the reptile brain because it evolved in us long before our ancestors were actual mammals. This is an incredible survival engine. Greed allowed our ancestors to hoard and gorge on scarce resources such as sugar and fat and salt. Things have changed quite a bit though. Violence was a means to fend off predators and competition. And fear, obviously, is a tremendous tool for survival. A shivering bush in the night means you may be dinner for another creature. But we're not in this world anymore. We are in the world of cameras and slides and civilized people sitting around and listening to each other. This is thanks to our newest upgrade in our evolution. The last update to our brain is the prefrontal cortex, the seat of reason and rational thoughts. So the reason why every time someone cuts you off on the road, you don't go full berserker is because your prefrontal cortex is rationalizing. Now, understanding this is not enough to help us inspire everyone to do the right thing, to do the thing that we believe needs to be done to save the world. The beautiful part in this is that our species has invented an incredible technology, a superpower, storytelling. We'll obviously be exposed to beautiful stories tonight with my fellow speakers. I would just like to take a moment to understand what makes stories stories and how they work so that you can use this wonderful tool when you are in positions of leadership to move things more effectively. What makes a story is conflict. In risk-averse environments, people are scared of conflicts. People don't want to bring problems up. But if you remove conflict from whatever you want to talk about, then you don't have a story anymore. Let's take an example. classic Shakespearean tale of Romeo and Juliet. Let's strip it away from its conflict. Boy loves girl, girl loves boy, the end. It's not really a story, is it? It's not funny, it's not interesting, there's nothing to learn, no drama, no feeling. When we inject conflict in the form, for example, of forbidden love, then suddenly it becomes more interesting. Sometimes conflict is incarnated and personified by the most important character in the story, the villain. And when we imagine our favorite villain from our favorite blockbuster franchise, a dark lord of sort, we also associate with that character another type of persona, heroes. Heroes are also important, but not as important as villains, because without villains, heroes don't have a reason to exist. Now, for a story to be good, it needs conflict. For a story to be great, we need to understand who's the hero and what the conflict is about. What I mean by that is the conflict, the problem you're trying to solve, the problem you're talking about to inspire people to join you on a journey, has to be the audience's problem. It cannot be your problem. If you're a salesperson, you're not going to pitch your sales quota. And if you want to save the world, pitching a faraway forest or a disappearing sea slug that no one has heard about is not necessarily the most effective way to inspire people to change their day-to-day behavior. It has to be about them, for the simple reason that our good old reptile brain is extremely selfish, and our own problems are more important to us than other people's problems. In the same vein, we need to understand what heroes do. We clearly understood the value and the position of the villain as the incarnation of conflict. What about heroes? Well, heroes are the only characters in the story that are compelled and must evolve. They go on a journey of change. They start sometimes as an orphan, and they end up sometimes as the leader of the resistance. But this defines who they are, this change. Heroes are the incarnation and personification of change. Now, if we think back to our corporate meetings and sales pitches and the people we gather to influence to save the world, who or what is the hero? Is the product you're pitching the hero? Are you, the speaker, the hero? What or who is changing during your speech? The audience is changing their minds, maybe, and going from a place of, this is not my priority, I don't have a budget for this, I don't have time for this, I don't even have a problem, shifting to a place of, tell me more, how can I help, where do I sign? By making the conflict the problem of the audience, and by making the audience able to relate and see themselves as a reflection of their change through the hero of your story, you will much more effectively inspire people to listen to you, to adopt the change you want, and to move forward. I'll leave you with three questions that are essential if you want to be a successful leader and an inspiring person seeking beauty to save the world. Question number one. Why should I trust you? Are you an expert? Do you have a lot of experience in the field you're talking about? This matters, but not so much. Do I like you? Are you a friend? Friendliness and likability weighs so much more than expertise and credibility. If you lack one, you can rely on the other. But it's a known fact that people tend to collaborate better with people they already know, and people tend to hire people they are friendly with. Question number two. How hard is it to say yes? How risky is the change that you're asking me to adopt? Now, this is easy to solve. If the consequences of inaction, not buying your product, not following your lead, if the consequences of inaction far outweigh the risk of change, then people will be happier to adopt the change rather than to remain in the status quo. And finally, the most important question, the third question that is essential for you to know the answer of in order to influence people successfully. Why should I care? Why should I care about what you have to say? Why should I care about your product? This goes back to making the villain and the hero a reflection of your audience. It has to be about the people you talk to. It cannot be a self-centered, egocentric conversation. The most inspiring leaders and the most successful salespeople are serving the people they talk to. As servant leaders that strive to solve their followers' problems, they garner a fellowship that is adamant to help them move forward. This superpower, storytelling, is the reason why we are able to build empires, is the reason why we can achieve so many great things as a species that is not blessed with the ease of controlling the masses like ants and bees and termites. And so I will leave you with this thought. How beautiful is empathy when we are seeking to understand others to help them save themselves? Thank you all.